I've been here 10 years now and the club has changed tremendously in that time, and as you'd imagine, the business has changed with it. And now we are the best rugby club stadium in the country and looking really to be the same thing in Europe as well. In terms of our print strategy and requirements, of course, as a sports club, in the less professional days, shall we say, we didn't really have one, is the honest truth. So fortunately for us, Danwood knocked on our door and we agreed to allow them to have a look at our problem.
When I originally approached Northampton Saints Rugby Club, although they felt they could make savings on their existing printer fleet, they didn't think those savings would be significant enough to enter into such a project. Where they had a photocopier, a colour printer, a black and white printer and a fax machine all sat next to each other, it made sense to consolidate all of those functionalities into one device. I presented an Insatsu Chosa report to Alan Robson to go through the costs that will be associated with running such a fleet within his organisation.
They made us aware of our total costs, and I mean total costs, as opposed to there it is, it's 1 pence per copy or whatever. It's the toners and the cartridges and service costs.
Once the Insatsu Chosa report was complete, we now had our finger on the button. We knew exactly what printers were where, how much they were costing and how much they were printing. Upon presenting this to Alan Robson, he was quite surprised at how much he was spending and how many printers he had.
They actually managed to come back with all that detail, which I wasn't quite happy to take on the face value. So we did have a look through the accounts to check out their costings that they had advised us we'd incurred, and in fact they were right.
We have a project management team that were able to take over the sale and make sure that the implementation went smoothly. There were some challenges for the project management team themselves. They not only had to hire a crane to get one of the machines in, but certain door frames had to be removed and replaced. But that project management team took all of the responsibility away from sales, that allowed sales to focus on their role, and they focused on their activities that they do very well. Insatsu Chosa was key to winning the business at Northampton Saints. It allowed us the in at the very beginning, and with the floor plans and the costs allowed us to put a proposal together that was a very, very strong case and allowed us to win the business. Some of the lessons that I learned with this project with Northampton Saints is one, using Danwood's independence, making sure that we look at all of the manufacturers that we have to our disposal to make sure that we put the best fit in for the client. A couple of key motivations for the customer was the increase in functionality throughout the site. Where users just had the ability to print, they would now be able to print, copy and scan. The other motivation was the fact that their fleet would now be 100% supported. Only their photocopiers were supported before. Now 100% of their devices were supported by Danwood.
The relationship we have with Danwood is one of trust, to be fair. We're in a position to discuss any problems or opportunities with them, and we can rely on the advice that we get from them. You know, our business is rugby, that's what we're good at, that's what we're experts at. We like to think Danwood are experts at the print requirements, and we know we can rely on them to see us through with a solution.